The following is intended for mature audiences only. Discretion is advised.
This is The Count from Sesame Street crayon. And that's what I wrote today. As an adult woman, that's what I used to write things down. And there was other people. And I was like, I'm just taking my notes. They're like, would you like a pen? And I was like, a pen? I have pens. I just chose to use this. And sorry, Sharon, what did you say? Just, 1 sec, I've got to sharpen my crayon.
Hey everybody, it's Theresa. Welcome to Exaggerated. Let's get into it.
Hi everybody, welcome to this week's episode of Exaggerated. I'm so glad that you're here. Thanks for joining me. Wow, okay. I'm gonna tell you right now, I'm here alone. This is a solo episode and I'm so excited because it feels like we're going back to the olden days. Like it feels, and I know there's only been a couple episodes with guests and I love my guests so far and it's been so fun to make the guest episodes, but I totally took for granted how enjoyable it is to just like sit and connect with my audience and with you guys. And I know that we of course connect with our guest and with our audience, but we've got something special, guys. And talking to yourself alone in a room is sometimes super important, I think. And I don't think we do it enough. Am I a psychologist now? I don't know. This week has been crazy. I mean, like, I know I say that every week, but like, I'm not sure I'm even sitting here. I think I'm a hologram. I have a lot of cold brew in my system on an empty stomach, and that's just being a girl. And I was running late getting here, and that's just being a girl. And my hair has been curled for so many days because I haven't wanted to like blow it out and dry it, and that's just being a girl, you know? It's also being a mom. I have no time to do anything. It's wild. So wait, all right, let's focus, guys. We're already saying, we're like 3 minutes in and we're already saying focus. And I didn't bring my clocker. I didn't bring my clocker, my stopwatch or my timer. So I don't know how long this is going to be. And that's on me. So this could be a 6-minute episode. Or it could be a 6-day episode. We could emerge from here and the receptionist of the studio might be having her birthday, which is in 6 months. I don't know. Hard to know. I could leave here and my daughter could be 6 years old. That would be sad. I would miss that. All right, guys, come on, really focus. Focus, please. Isn't it funny how the guest is like, makes me focus much more than myself? For sure, something going on there. Something deeper than just liking to talk. All right, anyway, guys. This morning I had a model booking and it was fine. Whatever, it's fine. I was like running late and I got a coffee like by my house and then was running late. Like I wasn't running late because of the coffee. And you're like, maybe you shouldn't have the second one because you're vibrating. That's not the point. So I was running late. So I walk in it was like 10 minutes late, but sometimes model bookings are like 1 hour, 2 hours, 3 hours. Like they're more specific timing, like their time matters. Like they'll literally book like 12 to 1 and they're like, we don't want to see you at 11:30. We don't want to see you at 2. Like it's like, that's it. It's 12 to 1. Anyway, so I walk in like 8 minutes late. Not terrible. I can give them their 8 minutes at the end. It's like not a big deal. The train was a little delayed, whatever. But I had a coffee in my hand. Like I had a fresh iced coffee in my hand. So it totally looked like I was like, hey, sorry, I'm 8 minutes late. I was just chatting to the barista, getting a little bit of a latte. And I wasn't. I got the coffee 30 minutes prior. I just was scrolling on my phone and not paying attention. Like I'm not a fast coffee drinker. Like I could have a coffee like this all morning. If you're watching on YouTube, this is approximately, I forget, it's like audio and video. So what if I had to do like captions, like TV captions in case you weren't viewing it or you're blind and you're only listening and it was like, I'm talking about a 16-ounce coffee, everybody. About a 16-ounce coffee lasts me like the morning. I like sip on it. I play. We're back to just being a girl. We're just being a girl. I just want to have an iced coffee in my hand. I know the ice is next to the mic. I know I'm going to get sound complaints. But you know what? We're rocking and rolling today. We're flying by the seat of our pants if we've ever flown, you know? So anyway, I had that coffee for like 40 minutes. I'm supposed to throw it out because you're going to assume that my coffee is the reason for my lateness. And like, they didn't even care that I was a few minutes late, obviously. Like, obviously you like to be on time. Nobody likes, I can't say nobody, because I also heard that people don't have inner monologues. And that blows my mind, because my mind, if you do not have an inner monologue, comment on this episode, because I want to talk to you. I want to have you as a guest on the podcast if you don't have an inner monologue. Yeah, that's what I want to do, because it blows my mind. My mind talks to itself and about 6 to 12 other people at all times. Inside here is like ding, 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 ding. Should we make chicken or beef for dinner? I have an idea for a sketch. I'm really hungry. I shouldn't have had too much coffee. Like, it's constant. And then like the self-criticism. Oh, baby, we're just getting started, you know? So if you don't have an inner monologue, comment on this episode, because I want to talk to you and I envy everything about you. So anyway, this week was really crazy because we moved. I know I've talked about this on season 1. We had a move coming. We knew we were going to move for like the better part of a year. Like we knew for like 8 months that we were going to move. And that is too long to know you're going to move. In New York City, when you're moving, usually you find out like a month or two that like, oh, maybe I think it's like 2 months. And like if your rent goes way up or you want to leave the area, or if you're like moving out of state or something, I'm sure you know you're not re-signing your lease after a year, whatever. But usually I feel like in my experience, the main reason we've moved is like, okay, we either need some more space, we found a better price, our landlord is raising the price, whatever it is. And like this time we knew that our building that we were renting from was being sold, and they started doing some janky stuff, and it wasn't a great building for us. Like it was actually one of the worst apartments that we've lived in. Like just that's sort of luck of the draw. But like we knew for like 8 months to a year that we were going to be moving. So it was a weird like in between that I've never had before. I've always been like, oh my God, we found this better apartment. We need more space. It's available in 2 months. Let's give notice to our landlord. Like it's kind of fast moving in New York because you can't even really view apartments. Like if you're looking for an apartment and you're like, I'd like to move October 15th. And it's like, you know, the spring, they're like, cool, call us in August or September. Like they don't even want to hear from you. So this time we knew ahead of time. And so we started to try to look, and it was weird. And like, so it felt really uneasy. And also like in our last apartment, like knowing we were going to move so early, like I didn't do anything. I didn't organize closets. I was just like, we're going to be moving in 9 months. I'm not putting these clothes away. Like it wasn't that bad. We weren't living in like a pigsty, but like closets that needed to be redone, or like clothes that my daughter's grown out of. Like I just like was putting them in storage bins being like, oh, I don't know. Like, I don't know where to put that. I don't even know where I live. So that made for a little bit of a hectic move. I think in hindsight, I should have like planned better, because I could have been like Marie Kondo. I could have planned and packed and absolutely, you can like, what's the book? A Life-Changing Magic. I could have life-changed my life. I could have changed my life. The life-changing magic of tidying up. The brain, it works every so often. Barely. It's like getting to that thought was like a little train, and it's an old train, and it's like, I think that's a roller coaster. Let's go to roller coaster. Erase the train. Let's go to roller coaster. It's a wooden roller coaster. It's rickety. They're about to close the park. It's also haunted. No one's ridden it in 30 years. But every so often, it still goes downhill really fast and doesn't fall off the tracks. And that's my brain. That's the perfect example of my current brain. The neurons aren't firing, right? If they're usually bright red, they're like a dull pink, and they're like, help me, it's hard to think. And my brain is like, I would like some sleep. I don't know why this is my brain. My brain has wings. If you're watching on YouTube, you'll understand what I mean. The audio experience of that would be like, I've put my hands to my cheeks and I'm flicking them around. And my brain is like, please, can I have some sleep? And I'm like, how about an iced coffee? And they're like, I mean, that'll turn us brighter pink for like a second, but it's really not going to keep the neurons going. And I'm like, cool, cold brew, extra large, let's do it. Right. And then my brain is like, how about we have a nice meal and maybe connect with friends and relax? And I'm like, you want to work and have 6 shows in a week? Yeah, for sure. Let me schedule those. So yeah, anyway, I've been busy. But back to the move. Moving is so wild. And I've obviously never moved with a child. This is my first move with a 2-year-old, and don't do that. So I guess if you move, don't bring your kids. I think that's the way. It's not even that she has too much stuff. It's that she's just like too fun to hang out with. Moving was not her vibe. She was like, oh, you guys got to like pack and tape stuff up and label shit. How about I hide all the markers? Oh, these boxes are still empty. How about I throw all of my toys and food in them? Because I think I'm packing too, but really I'm just making the boxes wet because I dumped an apple juice in them, you know? So it was tough because she's like a vibe. She wants to be entertained. She wants to chill. We're like, hey, we're moving. She's like, don't care. Let's go to the park. And I'm like, oh, but we need to pack. And she's like, nah, I want to go to music class. And I just go. I just listen to her because I am bullied by my toddler 100%. I was thinking about that the other day. I feel like there's like toddler commandments. Like toddlers wake up in the morning and they're like, good morning, good morning. Oh, barely 5 a.m. Perfect. Early start to the day. And they line up their stuffies and they're like, hey, stuffed animals, it's 5 a.m. Let's get ready for the day. And they say, thou shall only take on tasks that I do not have the skill level for by myself. And then like they want to dress themselves. They want to eat by themselves. They want to do, and like they have all these great skills, but they're not quite there yet, right? So they can use the spoon, but it doesn't quite get to their mouth. It like shoots out of the side. Or they can dress themselves, but it takes 4 days and their pants are on their head, you know? And then like the next commandment is like, thou shall only scream between the hours of 5 a.m. and 5 p.m. And you're like, wow, that's the whole day. Also, don't wake up at 5 o'clock. You know, my daughter will literally wake up at 5 or 6, guns blazing, ready to go in the crib. Mommy, what up? Actually, she goes, mommy. And then sometimes she goes, where, mommy? And after like 3, like, where, mommy? She goes, hey, as loud as she can. And if we needed a paternity test, we would know that was my child. Because she's like, hi, I was wondering if you would get the fuck in this room. Like her, like, you know, she wants stuff done and she wants it done quick. So I get bullied. She also, thou shall climb everything dangerous is a toddler command, I think. She's been like getting on top of, like, we have a moving company and it's all these like bins, which is really cool because like a sustainable moving company. You fill the bins, you move it, you unfill them, you empty them. And then they come and pick them up and like, they're unfilled. There's that roller coaster brain again, guys. Try to stay with me. I love you so much. But we've emptied them. So some are closed, some are, and just like, she'll be like, mommy, me. And I turn around and she's 6 crates up into the sky. And it makes my heart jump out of my chest. So anyway, this is a funny story. I'm not just here to complain. I'm mostly here to complain. That's for sure. Ow. What if I did that after sentences? What if I was like, and that's a great point. Ow. Wow. Not going great for me. Anyway, so we had some like pieces of furniture to get rid of, right? And it wasn't crazy furniture. It was like an IKEA like closet unit. Really nice, still put together, but still like IKEA, like you might not be able to like disassemble and reassemble. And it was like those big closet like things. And I was really sad that we don't have a place for it in our new house. So I tried to like put it on Facebook Marketplace to sell it, and not even because I cared so much. Like obviously it'd be nice to sell it and get the money, but it wasn't even so much a money thing. But I do think that sometimes when you attach a price to something, people value it more. Like if you just put out a brand new chair on the curb on garbage night and you were like free, yeah, somebody who's like DIY and cool, me, would be like, oh, sick, free chair. I trust my neighbors, whatever. But if you put on that chair like $5, sometimes people are like, ooh, deal. I don't know. Like it like gives it like a little like more interest or something. It's not like, oh, they wanted to get rid of this shitty chair. It's just like, oh, maybe it doesn't fit, so they're selling it. So I tried to sell it on Facebook Marketplace. And it was my first experience with Facebook Marketplace. And let me tell you, never again. Never again? Probably never again. Because I love the idea of it. I tried Poshmark before too. And if anybody knows how to use these platforms, my friend is really good at Poshmark. I should ask her. But if anybody really knows how to use these platforms, please reach out to me and like let me know what I'm doing wrong, because I want to be that person. I have so much like clothes and shoes and things, and I want to be that person that's like sold it online, got new jeans with my Facebook Marketplace money, sold some jeans, so I got new jeans. Like I don't have the patience for it. I don't have the storage for it. And also I didn't know about the scammers. So apparently people that are well-versed in Facebook Marketplace understand this idea. So basically you put something on Facebook Marketplace and there's so many scammers that will like automatically reach out. And some you can totally tell are scammers because they're like, hello, sweet darling, I've been looking for this closet unit. It's making my dreams come true. May I Venmo you now? And you're like, what? And like that, you're like, okay, fine, that's fake. But some are like, one was like a profile that was a woman, said it was like interior designer. And she immediately messaged and she was like, hey, is this for pickup tonight? Blah, blah, blah. I need it. Like I'm an interiors. What's your phone number? And I was like, oh. So I gave the number, my phone number. And nothing has happened yet, but turns out it was a scammer because, and it was just weird. Oh, because they were like, we're trying to verify. Do you have another phone number? We're trying to verify. Can you send an email? And I was like, no. Like, why are you sending verifications and shit? Like, weird. So I gave the benefit of the doubt because I'm a good person. But then I was like, oh, this is obviously a scammer. So I was like, you are a scammer. I was like, my nanny used to get like worked up about stuff. Oh, God rest her. I miss her so much, my grandma. And she used to be like, I'm going to tell her off. I was in the grocery and somebody cut me off and skipped me in line and I told him off. And we're like, really, Nani? What did you say? And she was like, I looked at her and I said, you're being rude. And she used to be so serious. And you would want to laugh because you were like, wow, Nani, get him. But like, that's like how I felt on this Facebook scammer because I was like, typing back to them. And then when I realized it was a scam, I said, you're a scammer. And they were like, no, I'm not. And I was like, yes, you are. Why I went back and forth this many times is because I'm dumb. And I was like, you're a scammer. And they were like, no, I'm not. And I was like, yes, you are. And they were like, prove it. And I was like, you're getting blocked. And then I blocked them. And I was like, psh, got him. But I couldn't tell anybody that story until now because really I was the one that got scammed because they got my phone number, they got me. I was like, do you need my social security number to verify this transaction of my IKEA closet, miss? Here it is. Like, you know, you could be so smart and so dumb at the same time, you know? Like today, somebody asked me for something and it was a small item and it was in my wallet. You're like, is it a condom? No. It was actually like an SD card for like recording things. And I had stuck it in my wallet so I wouldn't forget it. And they asked for it. And I knew they were going to ask for it as soon as I came in the door. So I had my wallet in my hand. I put it on the table. And then I went looking through my bag for my wallet while saying to the girl, I don't know where it is. It's in my wallet. My wallet's got to be in this bag somewhere. And she probably was just being super polite and she was like, it's on the table, I think. I mean, if that's your wallet, hey, who's to say if it's a wallet, but maybe that one was already here. And I was like, oh no, that's mine. I'm a moron. Thank you so much. Best of luck. And she was like, it happens. And I was like, it happens to me 6 times a day. It happens to me 6 times a day. Anyway, I do want to take a second to say thank you guys so much for listening and thank you for being here. It's so fun to be creative, but it's really hard to make things sometimes. Not in a this is hard, I don't want to do it, but in a from a spiritual place, from a confidence place. At the end of the day, comedians and actors and models we're artists, and we have these really tough exteriors because we're told no all day long. But the inside is really mushy and soft, and we really need to be embraced and loved. And that's what our audiences do for us. So that's just a little second to just be like, hey, thanks. You guys are really cool. And sometimes I get in my head a lot. And I'm really glad that we have this show and this space to connect with each other and to create funny, silly things. So anyway, the rest of this story. So I put it on Facebook Marketplace. I got scam bammed. So I just took it off Facebook Marketplace because I was like, you know what? I don't need like the money. It's not like we were doing it for money. We were just trying to get it out of there. And so I joined a Buy Nothing group in the neighborhood. And those groups, I'm not trying. I want to be this I want to be like they care so much about wastefulness and landfills, and so a lot of the trading is not like, oh, I really think this crayon is important. It's more like, hey, I don't want to just throw this in the garbage. Surely someone around me needs a crayon. So there are things little and big. Like a girl today put a Valentino purse on there. I was like, oh girl, I want that purse. It had like 600 comments in like 5 minutes. And I was like, that's stressful. Like I would hate that. And people raffle things. Like it's really cool. So some people are really good at it. So I joined a Buy Nothing group and they didn't let me in at first. They didn't think I lived in the area or something. And I was like, I had to like message the guy. I was like, excuse me, I don't have a Facebook app. And all of a sudden I'm in like Facebook Messenger. Like I don't use Facebook a lot. But so I put it in a Buy Nothing group. Somebody immediately was like, I would love to have that. And so I just said, all right, I didn't know the rules. I didn't know you were supposed to like leave it up for a certain amount of time. I just wanted it gone. Like first person, first come, first serve. Then I got so addicted to the Buy Nothing group that I swear to God, I almost put my husband on it. Like I was about to be like, does anyone want a dog? Like my dog just peed on the floor. Does anyone want a dog? I don't know. Like, couldn't you imagine? I'm like immediately investigated. They're like, this Buy Nothing group is meant for excessive groceries. If you're going on vacation, if you're cleaning out your closet and you want to give away a couple hoodies, you have put people and live animals on this Buy Nothing group multiple times, miss. So we are going to have to ask you to leave. And I'm like, did anyone claim my husband and the dog though? You know, no, I would never want to give them away. But I got so addicted to it that anything we weren't packing, I was like, post. Like my husband was like, can you start packing? And I was like, I'm busy. And I 100% used the Buy Nothing group as like my procrastination because I was like, look at this lamp. We don't need this, right? We don't want this in the new house. We don't even like this lamp. It's broken. It's going to fall over on the baby. Let me post it. And some guy was like, I can get it. And I was like, it's yours. Like it's an incredible rush for some reason to like give things away. And I've always been the kind of person that like, if people are like, I really like your sweater, and it's something that I'm like not super into or not sure about, I'm like, take it. Do you want it? Do you want to take it? I'd rather have the closet space because I hate the wastefulness of like a closet clean out without knowing it's going somewhere, which is why I love the idea of like a Poshmark. I would love to be good at that. Maybe you just have to do it and practice. I like to just wake up good at things. I'm definitely the type of overachiever that overachieves in my lane, you know? I'm not waking up like, I should learn Mandarin. I'm waking up like, I do already talk a lot. Should we just start recording it? Like, you know, so there's levels to things. But yeah, I love like, if I know like my friend is going to take a bag of clothes, I will load up a bag of clothes with tags on it and just be like, I don't want these anymore because I really just want the space or someone gave them to me or whatever. Anyway, that being said, what else did I want to tell you guys about? That was really it. Like, it's just really been a crazy week. We'll do the ick and the love, and then I think that's it. This is our first solo episode of season 2. I'm so glad you guys are here. I would also just like to add, if you're watching on YouTube, and if you're not, it's on Big Comedy Network's YouTube. So at Big Comedy Network is where you'll watch these on YouTube. I made a quick notes, and I didn't have a pen, but I did have this black Count. The Count from Sesame Street crayon. This is the Count from Sesame Street crayon. And that's what I wrote today. As an adult woman, that's what I used to write things down. And there was other people. And I was like, oh, I'm just taking my notes. They're like, would you like a pen? And I was like, a pen? I have pens. I just chose to use this. So like, that's so telling, right? Like I won't even ask for help. Hey, I forgot a pen. Can I borrow one? I just start committing to the bit of using a crayon as a grown adult in a meeting. I'm like, nope, sorry. What was that, Jake? Yeah, all right. And sorry, Sharon, what did you say? Just, 1 sec. I've got to sharpen my crayon. It's also like a fat one. If you're watching on YouTube, it's funny. If you're listening, you're like, is she still talking about a crayon? I am. It has the Count's face on it. It's very cute. My friend got it for my daughter for her birthday. She has a bunch of them. And apparently we didn't know where the black was, and I found it because it's in my bag. So here's the thing. We're going to go into the ick and the love. My ick is, and I've been dealing with this because like we're moving and stuff. People that are like, they totally slam where you live, and not in like a, oh my God, I can't believe you live there. They do it in like a backhanded way. Like people do it with New York City a lot. And, you're like talking to them and they go, oh, you live in New York City? I could never. And you're like, all right, like you could never what? And they're like, I could never live in the city. Oh my God. Oh, okay. Did someone ask you to move? All you said is, where do you live? And I told you. And people do it with neighborhoods too. They'll be like, oh, you live in Manhattan. Oh, I could never. In Manhattan. Oh. And especially if I'm like back upstate or you're somewhere else. Oh, I could never live in New York City. Oh, it's just isn't the hustle and bustle too much? Aren't the people rude? No, obviously I don't feel that way or I wouldn't live here. No one's asking you to live here. Don't yuck people's yum, especially if it's where they live. And it never works on the reverse. Like if I go, oh, I could never live in, like what if I walked in their house? Like, I could never live here. Oh, this kitchen. Oh, why is your kitchen got white cabinets? I could never have white Like, stop being a hater. It's a way to like act like you're putting it on yourself, but you're being a hater. So don't hate on where people live. And the love is, I was thinking about this today because I put this leopard scrunchie on my wrist. And the last time I had a leopard scrunchie on my wrist, I met up with a friend for lunch and she had a leopard scrunchie on her wrist. And that's just being a girl. And that right there is just being a girl. And I just love that because this is just like a crappy scrunchie that like I could have thrown out. But like now that has happened, I almost wear it as a bracelet because it makes me think of that day and be like, oh, that was so fun. Like it makes me think of my friend. So my love is like sentimental clothing, whether it's in style or not. I think it's really cool if you're like wearing a necklace that your mom gave you or like you're, or putting something in your house. Like we hung this light in our new house that was my grandmother's. Like, and even though it might not be like the light, the 2024 hottest lighting for housing, like, no, but it's like, it's in fashion because it's like sentimental. That's what I'm like into lately. And I am going to start putting outfits and stuff on Instagram. I know I promised you guys that a while ago. It's all going to happen. I love you all so much. Thanks so much for joining me for this episode. And I will see you next week. Don't forget, it's all a little bit exaggerated. Thanks for joining me.
This has been Exaggerated. Thanks for sticking around till the end. Follow me on social media @TimoLynn. That's TMOLYNN. And don't forget to subscribe so you never miss an episode. Oh, and join the conversation by emailing me at exaggeratedpod@gmail.com. Until next time, don't forget, it's all a bit exaggerated.